Watch that gold car of Jamie Westerway. He has to get a good start to go with Cameron Bella. The last thing he wants to do is give Cameron Bella a clear getaway, and Cameron's done exactly that. Mark Torbitz goes into position number 3 as Adam Brewer just takes evasive action in the number 31 right at the last minute there, trying to haunt Mark Torbitz out of that. Up the outside this time, there's Dick Howe in the number 8, dodging and weaving around Mark Verdino. And we've got 2 going off wide there, the 44 and the 8, so that's Verdino and Richard Howe. They were getting on with it at turn 3 and the run down to 4, which of course has been reshaped over the last 18 months or so. And around goes the Poolmaster entry of Andrew Jackman. A lot of dust goes up in the air as we're giving the Winton Motor Raceway a good coating. Very low ride height in the back of the number 20 there as he just pulls in front of the number 32 of John Bonoris. And they go around the famously named water tank, the flag point right in the middle of that set of corners. Around the gum tree they go. And we go back to our race leader, which is Cameron Bella. Jamie Westerway knows he has to go with him. Bella in the number 55. Westerway in the 1. Taking last year's series for Osfield Oil Distributors. And currently sitting in P2. He does not want to see Cameron Bella drive away. The master of cold Yokohama tyres in this category is Cameron Bella. We look back just outside the top 5 with Mark Verdino, Michael Westerway, and they come around to complete lap number 1 for 888 Home Loans, the Porsche 944s. And there is a communication board going out to the field that will have someone's number on it, and they'll be holding a meatball flag or a black flag, something like that. So we'll catch up with what that information was as soon as we can. There's Jack Atley in the pit lane clothing entry, splendid in the red and white. And right behind Jack, he's gone up into position number 9 is Keith Mariner. Richard Howe, the number 15, Mandy Tudor in there as well. Good look at the side of Richard Howe's car in the German colours there, the black, yellow and red. And he goes off the track again. Not sure why that was. A little momentary lapse in concentration there from Dick Howe. And he goes all wheels to the dirt. A little bit of a jump over the ripple strip getting back on there. So let's hope he hasn't done any damage. And he gives the car in front there a bit of a hurry up as well. Keith Mariner in the number 64 and tears the rear bumper off it. So Richard Howe getting very, very aggressive with it here today. He was aggressive down between 3 and 4 on the first lap, and now he's aggressive coming out of Gumtree with Keith Mariner in the number 64. Ranges alongside in the number 8. He's going to have to be big under brakes here because Keith looks straight down the inside as they come around to the penultimate corner on the lap here at the Winton Motor Raceway. So that bumper just being held on by one mounting screw now after Dick Howe gave it a bit of a nerf. So that will be very, very annoying dragging behind the car there like that. It'll be sending a vibration back up through the rear panels, and he'll be wondering what's going on as we've got a car smoking on the run up to the last corner there. That's the number 44 there of Mark Verdino. Started out of 6th place, and you'd have to suggest that with that steam coming out there like that, that's a some sort of head gasket or hose or something like that that has come off the side link number 44 as we see the recovery crew, the Winton Motor Raceway recovery crew swinging into action. Of course, fire extinguisher at the ready. We pretty sure that it was steam coming out of there, so there shouldn't be any fire present. So the recovery crew already on site. Give it a bit of a once over to make sure there's no fire, and they go to the bonnet clips to give it a open. That's a real shame there for Mark Verdino, and John Bonoris has also removed himself from this one as well, gone into the pits. There's our safety car, ready to pick up the race leader a couple of corners away at the top end of the straight. So 7 laps remaining. We may see this race go a lap or two short whilst the safety crew make sure that it's okay to extract that car of Mark Verdino out of our way. And the Winton Motor Raceway safety car just cruising, waiting for the field to catch up to it as they're just coming across the line now to complete lap number 3. It'll be Cameron Bella that is leading the way. The gap is really mathematical at the moment, being under safety car. It was Jamie Westaway in position number 2. Mark Torbertson, the number 74, dropping into 3. The 31 of Adam Brewer drops in as they all just cruise their way around behind the safety car. A very, very slow 60 kilometres an hour behind the safety car. That will take, it will feel like taking forever after they've been out and about racing very, very hard here this weekend. Of course, qualifying very, very close between all the drivers. After round 1 at Sandown, Jamie Westaway is leading the 2022 standings with Cameron Bella 4 points behind, Adam Brewer on 84, so he's 10 behind. Then Richard Howe on 73, who's a further 11 behind there as well. Tony Westaway, Mark Torberts, and at the moment Mark Torberts is trying to arrest that 6th and currently sitting 3rd in this race. Of course, we'd like to thank all of our officials and all the volunteers right around the track that continue to bring the Victorian State Circuit Racing Championship alive. To become an official, check it all out at motorsport.org.au/officials. I'll say that again, motorsport.org.au/officials. If you want to get involved, trackside, no one is closer to the action than the trackside officials, but there's plenty of roles. There's pit and paddock area roles as well, pit lane, race control opportunities, all sorts of opportunities to get involved. Trackside, of course, the higher profile ones, I guess, are the flaggies that stand out in the flag points, whether it be rain, hail or shine, and can sometimes be a pretty tricky job when you've got snow on the nearby mountains here and wind chill factor that is freezing, and they're out and about doing all of their flag dutying roles. Of course, here at Winton Motor Raceway, we're lucky enough to have the automated flagging system, so we look around the track and you can see the safety car boards being held by flaggies, but there's also the information boards that are enacted upon from race control. And I'm going to suggest that we are probably not too far away from going racing yet. The safety car has gone off and we are back underway. Green lights showing right around the track. And away we go for, let's hope, another 5 laps of close racing for Triple Eight Home Loans. And it is getting willing already with Adam Brewer, Tony Westaway and Michael Westaway all over the back of Mark Torberts at the moment. It is the number 3, Mark Torberts. Sorry, the number 3 of Tony Westaway. He's got them all bottled up behind him. It's the 31 in there as well, Adam Brewer. So Adam Brewer's gone back a spot on this restart as they come around the famous Winton sweeper. There's the 31 of Adam Brewer, currently in P4. And leading the way very, very nicely indeed. There's Jack Atley in the number 35, pit lane clothing entry, 56 right behind him. So Jack has moved up to position number 7 out of a starting spot of 14. So he's jumped half the field on his way to trying to get a result out of this race. In fact, this is a really good result for Jack Atley if he can continue to push his way up through the field and get himself a nice result with this first race of the weekend. As the cars stream down the straight. Great shots coming out of the Blendline TV crew as the number 74 of Mark Torberts tips it into turn 1, flows it nicely, as does Tony Westaway behind him. Adam Brewer wanting to get a move on. Started out of P3. Didn't get the restart he wanted out of the safety car period. There's the 3 of Tony Westaway. Great looking car, always well presented. And if you're ever concerned about Westaways, there's one in P2, there's one in 4, and there's one in 6. So they're liking their even numbers at the moment. Jamie Westaway, of course, in P2 to the winning Cameron Bella. Albeit that Jamie does wear the number 1 on his door as last year's champion. Cameron Bella, for numerous years prior to that, was the champion. The 944's always welcomed locally here by the fans here at Winton Motor Raceway. Pretty much predominantly a Victorian-based series, same as the BMW E30s. And normally a full field of Victorians running these 944s as well. And they've been a great inclusion ever since Dennis O'Keefe brought them along to the landscape all those years ago. Here we go again. Mark Torbert's really starting to feel the pressure coming from Tony Westaway. Tony wants to join the Westaway names with Jamie then himself, but at the moment it's Mark Torbert's. He holds his line into turn 1, dips it in nicely, carries the speed, and now Westaway has got Adam Brewer looking to the inside of the number 3. Leaves plenty of room there, but Brewer not being able to line up a safe braking manoeuvre into turn 3. With 3 laps to go in this 9-lapper for the 944s. Vidino and John Venoris not taking any further part in this race. Fastest lap to Cameron Bella, but this is where the battle is raging for the final spot on the podium for this race. And I can tell you, Mark Torberts is not going to give this up easily. He needs to grab this P3 in this race to remain in the title hunt. Down in 6th place at the moment. Not a great result out of Sandown. Looking for a big result here in the AAA home loans. Porsche 944s, one of our race leaders, has gone very, very wide. I'd say that's Jamie Westaway. Big dive down the outside this time around with the number 3 there. So Tony Westaway, and spins. Can't manage to keep it all together. He wants to engage a gear. He does very, very quickly. Spins it round. He's lost a whole handful of positions there. That did not come off as he wanted to. A big late dive bomb. We've got another car off there as well. That is down on the third last corner there. The the left-hander coming onto the new part of the circuit. So a couple of spinners on that lap, and there's Jack Adley. Has he been off as well? He's carrying dirt and bits and pieces underneath his car. So Jack was in 7th place, and certainly carrying a lot of rubbish underneath the car there on the number 35. Don't want to mess that car up. It's got the brand new sponsor on the side, Pit Lane Clothing. Check it out. Check out their website. Great to see that they're contributing to the class or the category. We get a good look at Andrew Jackman, who spun in the opening stanza of this race. The number 64 there of Keith Mariner just in front. Carter Fox, who started out of 11th, is holding station in 11th and provided some fairly spectacular action at round 1 at Sandown. Bit of a look down there. The 20 goes up the inside of Keith Mariner, and Andrew Jackman gains a spot on the track. About 1.5 laps remaining where our leaders are. Well, actually 1 lap remaining where our leaders are now, as Cameron Bella has got himself a very, very handy lead now over Jamie Westaway. And Jamie is actually potentially going to fall into the clutches of Mark Torberts in the black car, as the 20 just coming on to the pit straight. Andy Tudor. In behind there as well. Currently looking at Adam Brewer in position number 4 and has ranged right up onto the back now of Mark Torberts. Mark's really going to have to swing into some defensive mode as Tony Westaway, who was up as high as 5th, has dropped back to 8th place. Mark Torberts runs wide at the Gumtree. Needs to hang on to this because the 31's coming at him. Adam Brewer started out at P3. He wants that back. Getting great drive onto the straight that runs down to the left-hander. We rejoined the new part of the track, albeit 20 years ago it was new. And really letting Mark Torberts know that he's there. Torberts holds on to the driver's right-hand side of the track so that he gets the inside running up to the penultimate corner. And goes around Cameron Bella across the line and takes the win, and a tidy one indeed. Last time round it was 5.8 seconds back to Jamie Westaway. It ends up being 5.6 seconds to Jamie Westaway. Mark Torberts hangs on strong into P3. He needed that. He needed that points haul from this first race for the weekend, and he'll go into tomorrow with a really good feeling about how his weekend will pan out. So Cam Bella takes the win over the number 1 of Jamie Westaway. Mark Torberts in the number 74 home in 3rd place. Adam Brewer, who started out of 3rd, ended up 4th, so he'll have some work to do from the outside of the 2nd row of the grid come race 2 tomorrow. Michael Westaway over Richard Howe. Richard Howe, of course, went backwards at the start of that race after he got very aggressive exiting turn number 3.